Okay, well hi, this is my application. I'm going to discuss some of the key points that you've asked us to comment on, and hopefully keep it under 5 minutes. So I think this is possibly the quickest way. Basically, I've been doing this for a number of years now. I've been dabbling with PE for as paid employment, but also just as a passion. I've connected a humongous network of teachers through online and face-to-face methods, and I'd just like to outline some of those. I've written a script, so I am going to just read it and hope that that covers things. So your first question wanted to see evidence of my experience, reputation and potential. So basically it's evident through my work roles as an advisor and a lecturer, but also through my efforts to build a network of people using Hangouts, Wikispaces, Facebook and face-to-face speaking roles. I have a number of schools involved in what I've put together, as well as about 100 teachers across the country that are using my resources and so on. I actually have a number of teachers in other countries using my tools as well. Asked us to articulate the background and the purpose of the inquiry, and what I've been up to so far. So basically, through my work across many schools in the South Island, there's a common need. Teachers don't actually understand what PE is meant to be about, and instead they deliver a sport or a physical activity. So my efforts to date have strived to demonstrate that how the subject description from the curriculum can actually be realised, and how the effective pedagogies, including e-tools, can actually be part of a PE program where the learning is something actually quite rich and more like a physical social sciences than a sporty thing that happens at the end of the day. So my inquiry will seek to continue to build on the cluster of schools that I've developed as a mentor, and in particular it will focus on capturing student voice through digital learning stories within the subject for the purpose of creating a more authentic, coherent learning experience. Then you've asked us to identify the potential for proposed change, and I've worked with a lot of schools so far, and the schools report that they have a greater alignment to the NZC and a better understanding of the subject. It's my intention to build the user base and develop the program to involve students more directly in the use of the wiki. So at the moment it's mostly the teachers accessing, perhaps sharing things using a data projector, but I'd actually like them to be involved, the students to be involved in putting on their own reflections and so on. It's my hope to model an approach for how a cluster of schools can moderate assessment and develop a consistent learning program across schools, and explain how the intended inquiry links to one of the themes. I think what I'm putting together looks at rethinking the role of the teacher and the learner and establishing new partnerships where we don't have siloed schools. So my program aims to foster a learning approach that reflects Ako and Taina Tuakana as teachers share their professional aims with the students as they engage in their own learning, and students and teachers can gain motivation and feedback through the use of a common online platform that a number of schools can view and share and have a voice on. So the schools involved in 2014 have indicated that this year's PE has been the best that they've ever done. And then it says engagement in professional networks. Well, I am a key figure in PE in Christchurch. I've worked closely with UC to establish an interest group of primary school teachers. I've spoken at PENS conferences on 3 or 4 occasions, including this year's, and I've established networks using Facebook's Google Plus and a bit of VLN, as well as LinkedIn, to share my initiative throughout the country and in some cases internationally. So like I say, I've built up a network of teachers. I'm aiming to have most of the intermediates in Christchurch, but I'd like to get what I'm doing bigger than Canterbury, and just continue to grow and look at the value and try to look at some of those common themes such as digital learning stories as a PE tool, not just as maybe an English tool. You know, I want to apply all that good stuff to PE and then share it with the networks that I've built up and established already. And as you can see, I've got a number of references and key personnel in different areas, including Sport Canterbury, University of Canterbury, PE New Zealand, that are all very keen for me to go down this path. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much.